Guess who's back? Back again. Henry's back. Tell a friend. Your boy is back and ready to talk about another topic about Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, to the surprise of absolutely no one. This time I am joined by my very entertaining host, Heisei Godzilla. This is the X Plus of Biogoji, the Godzilla vs. Biollante Godzilla. I believe this is the first X Plus that I ever owned. Like, once I got my first adult job, this was the one that I bought, because I was finally making enough money to afford one. He's a little bit dusty, but I think that's because the air filtration in this house is not exactly the best. But for this video, I want to talk about a specific subject. I have a feeling Biollante is going to be in the game at some point. If we go through the list of characters that were in the poll, Biollante was number 11, so she was just barely out of the top cut. As far as I'm concerned, the top 10's the ones that really matter. If you guys want me to go through this list, we can. The reason the GIF is not animated is because this is an archive of the tweet. This isn't the tweet itself. I'm definitely one of those people that archives everything, but I imagine that Biollante is probably on the short list. Even though she's just outside of the top 10, the fact that they can backport models and animations from Godzilla Unleashed tells me that it's probable that they're gonna go for this. And Goji Rex stated in the interview 2 years ago that Biollante was very incomplete. I believe there's YouTube videos showing off what of Biollante is still available, but I also don't know how much of that's custom and how much of it was actually in the game. But I feel like Biollante is inevitable in Save the Earth Melee. Like, she was the character everyone wanted in Godzilla Unleashed on the Wii. So if they're trying to make this kind of a pseudo-sequel, in addition to the fact that it's a mod, I think Biollante is pretty easy to guess for the roster. And they just started updating their list of monsters for the monster manuals, so I'm kind of trying to get ahead of this because I'm trying to get stuff out before I get completely torn asunder by the dev team. But yeah, I imagine Biollante is going to be there. Actually, now that I think about it, this probably isn't going to happen. They're probably going to use Destroya or something, but Biollante would be like the perfect enemy monster and the best dual reveal whenever they give us actual gameplay of Godzilla Heisei. That said, there are two things that I really want to talk about in regards to Biollante. One is rather meaningless, and they can just kind of really do whatever they want. And the other thing isn't really a discussion so much as a question. So really the first thing I want to talk about at all with Biollante, and I know this may sound stupid, but I want to talk about her intro. For reference for anyone who has forgotten, here's what Biollante's intro looks like in Godzilla Unleashed on the Wii.
Biollante.
I don't know if it's just Biollante's design in Godzilla Unleashed, but I'm really just not feeling this. And I know, I get it. The Wii didn't really have a whole lot of graphical power to really spar with, but is it just me, or it looks kind of cartoony? But they've already demonstrated that Save the Earth Melee is going to have a little bit of a higher graphical fidelity to begin with. Obviously, I'm not expecting the world on this, but it's probably going to be an improvement no matter what. Anyway, back to the intro. Here's what Biollante's intro looks like in Godzilla on PS3 and PS4. Just for reference. Yeah, there's a bit of a difference in there. Granted, it's not as fast as Godzilla Unleashed intro, but I do think there's something to be gleaned from it. So stand back and let me cook for a second. So this might sound like a non sequitur. So they fixed Showa Gigan's teleport to be reminiscent of the space gem that he appears in when he's traveling in space with King Ghidorah in Godzilla vs. Gigan. It also appears in his intro now. So what I would do personally is I'd have some kind of golden glitter effect show up as Biollante kind of appears out of the ground like she did in Godzilla Unleashed. Kind of like the sky is seeding the ground and she's emerging from it. It would have to be more expedient than the PS4, PS3 game, but that's just a suggestion. And given how I always recommend really basic shit, the dev team probably has already thought about it. I actually don't know if there's any golden glitter effects in the game itself though. Obviously the mod can add it, but you get what I mean. The other question I have is more of a fundamental one, and it's more gameplay than anything else, which makes it more meaningful than most of the other things I have to say. The video showing the unfinished Godzilla Save the Earth Biollante has different moves than are present in Godzilla Unleashed for the Wii, so I'm really curious what the dev team is going to do to make this character coherent and fast, like all the other characters in the game currently. Because I definitely can't see most of the Godzilla Unleashed Wii moves actually linking into each other and being used in combos. Although I imagine a lot of it's going to be hitboxes and speeding up the animations. One thing they absolutely have to do though, is don't give Biollante a jump like Unleashed Wii did. In fact, don't give her a jump at all! If it were me, I would just make it so that the jump button turns into a dash move. Or alternatively, have the jump button turn into her burrow button. Because she has a burrow move in Godzilla Unleashed for the Wii. And that move I can't imagine being used competitively. Because the dev team would probably speed it up and cut off the end lag. So I can imagine it being kind of a rushdown tool. Or being used to help you follow up on launching attacks in order to create more combo potential. But yeah, no, Biollante jumping is a huge no. Biollante is one of the characters that I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see in this project. It was good of Godzilla Unleashed to put her in the first place, but in hindsight, Unleashed had a lot of problems, and Biollante kind of had a lot of problems along with that. And Godzilla for PS3 and PS4, that's a whole other can of worms that I really don't want to get into right now. And obviously it has no real bearing on this project, because they can't backport those models or those animations, which is fine by me, to be completely frank. But much like I did with Showa Godzilla, I just wanted to talk about the character, and maybe spur on some discussion about Biollante within Save the Earth Melee. She will definitely benefit from speeding everything up. Most of the engine improvements will probably make Biollante way more palatable. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about the possibility of Biollante being in Save the Earth Melee. I hope everyone's as excited for this project as I am. You are required to do so. The comments and likes are appreciated, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.